I'm Kimberly Calderbank for Community Cultures. Today we are in a very special place. We're at the Darling Home for Kids here in Milton to learn all about the services they provide our community. Since 2004, they have seen more than 250 kiddos come through the doors here for special care. Joining me now is the CEO here at the Darling Home for Kids. Kristen, you've been here for almost 20 years in this space. What inspired you to join the team here in the first place?
What inspired me was that I just wanted to make a difference in my community, and it's a small charity where you feel the impact of your job each and every day.
So let's talk about that impact. What is the mission and vision here at the home?
So the Darling Home for Kids provides care to children with medical complexity. So these are children that rely on technology for daily living, and they need nursing support 24 hours a day. We offer 3 core programs to them. We do a respite program that gives moms and dads a much needed break. We do a hospice program, which can include end-of-life care, and we also do long-term residential. And our vision is a world where no child is too complex to receive the love, care, and support they deserve.
How important is it to have a space like this for our community here in Halton?
We feel blessed to be in Halton, nested on 77 acres up on the Niagara Escarpment. We feel like it adds to our therapeutic programs, just the enrichment that the kids get to experience while they're here. And we're unique in all of Canada. There's no other organization that does exactly what we do with the continuum of care for this special population. So to be here in Halton, we feel grateful, and we've had a tremendous support from the Halton community.
Joining me now is Cristiano and his mom, Francine. Francine, how did you join the Darling Home for Kids in the first place?
So Cristiano's early start in life was a little bit rough. He spent about 2 years in the hospital in the ICU. So you can imagine when we came home to a mini ICU in his bedroom. And it was just up to Dad and I. We didn't have nurses, doctors, anything else anymore. And that's when we were introduced to Darling Home for Kids. Our support staff realized that it's hard to do that 24/7, to be the only one responsible. And it's hard to see it now, but in his early years, it was, really difficult. He was on a ventilator 24/7. We just waited for every beep to tell us there was an emergency.
Yeah.
Coming here, you get to trust them, and you get to learn that they really care about them. But most importantly, it gives us a chance to not listen for a beep. It gives us a chance to just relax a little bit and know that he's in safe hands, and we can go see a movie.
Yeah.
Just go have dinner. And that's really why we were introduced to Darling Home and why we've really benefited from them.
Yeah. And Cristiano, I'd love to hear from you. What do you enjoy most about the Darling Home for Kids?
What I like about it is they get to play with the volunteers, they get to play with the nurses, I get to play with the puppies, and basically all of that stuff, I would say.
And what aspects about the Darling Home for Kids have really helped to create a new community for you, or given you that sense of joy back as a family?
So the greatest thing is that they treat us as a family. So it's not just Cristiano, the sick kid. It's not just his immediate needs, but the needs of us as a family. So summer picnics, summer outdoor parties. He can bring his cousin with him and introduce his cousin to all the volunteers and fun people he gets to hang out with here. They have photo days where we get to capture the memories of us as a family. Things that aren't always easy to do when you're raising a kid on a ventilator in a wheelchair. Carrying it around an oxygen tank, there's a lot of considerations. And Darling Home builds events with those in mind. It takes that extra burden off of us to be like, can we participate in this community? They really reduce those barriers so that we can.
Abigail has been a volunteer here at the Darling Home for Kids for just about 2 years. Abigail, what inspired you to join the team here in the first place?
I actually found the Darling Home for Kids completely by accident. I was looking into volunteering opportunities in my community because I wanted to make a difference and to do something valuable with my time. And I quite honestly searched up volunteering opportunities in Milton, and this was one of the first things that popped up that I was eligible for. That would have been in grade 8. So I wasn't old enough to do a lot of the other things I wanted to do. Like I was looking into the women's shelter as well. So the Darling Home for Kids really provided me with that opportunity to get out there and do something productive.
And what was your understanding of the Darling Home for Kids when you first joined? What did you think you were getting yourself into here?
I honestly wasn't entirely sure because I've never interacted with all of these different kids with all these different needs before. I honestly didn't know fully what I was getting into, but from the very first day, I was a little bit overwhelmed, but the person who was shadowing me was wonderful. I've done so many events with her. I love her. And from that day forward, I just fell in love with the home and the kids.
Let's talk about the events, because I know there are a lot of events that are put on for the families as an opportunity to really create community for them, but also events to help to fundraise for the facility as well. So tell us a little bit about the events you've been involved in.
Since I started volunteering with the Darling Home for Kids, I have done every single event except for the golf fundraiser in the summer because I was working. My favorite event that I've been involved in and on the planning committee for was probably our holiday party in December, because it's such a nice way for all of the different kids and families to come together and celebrate and have fun, and there's music and food and crafts, and we always have all these wonderful stations. The events are a really nice place for everyone to come together and interact outside of the medical atmosphere.
Right. Amanda is a care team worker here at the Darling Home for Kids. Amanda, how long have you been working here for?
I've worked at the Darling Home for Kids for 5 years now.
And what inspired you to get into this type of work in the first place?
I was a fresh new grad out of nursing school, and I really wanted to get involved in pediatrics and palliative care, so I thought this was a great opportunity to do that.
And what type of work or care do you give here to the kiddos that are here at the center?
We provide specialized nursing care here, so a lot of the children are medically fragile, technology dependent. They have G-tubes, tracheostomies, seizure disorders. Many of them are wheelchair bound, nonverbal, so we are all specially trained in providing that tailored care to them.
It's a very special, bright, colorful, joyful place really here. What do you want people to understand about the care that goes into the home here?
I would say that the care that goes into the home here is specialized to each of the kids. We don't necessarily focus on their medical diagnoses heavily. We try and get to know the kids on an individual personality kind of level. We really get to know them in that way and kind of figure out what provides like happiness and joy to them on a daily basis. And then we try to incorporate that into their day-to-day lives here.
Stephanie has been working here for the past 9 years at the Darling Home for Kids. Stephanie, what inspired you to get into this type of work in the first place?
I was really interested in working within healthcare, and it was just nice to find a facility that really supported, holistic care and providing care, in the fun element, also as well as supporting like the care needs from a nursing perspective.
I love that you mentioned fun, because this is such a bright, vibrant space. All the team members we've talked about have just been so joyful. The family members here as well. You provide a lot of extra care and extra joy. What does that look like?
It really looks like, going outside, enjoying, the nice weather together, really just enjoying kind of the day-to-day moments of joy that we see. So that could be something, like going for a trail walk. It could be something at the park, but it could also just be, let's make a farm animal noise and all belly laugh. Yeah. And so I think that's what really makes it, truly special, because those moments where you're belly laughing is just, part of your role here, and it's kind of just a beautiful space.
What an incredible space this is, truly joyful from the time you walk through the doors. The Darling Home for Kids is only 50% funded by government and grants, and the rest is from generous community donors, volunteers, and donations, sponsorships, and more. You can become involved by checking out their website and learning more about the special care they give here at the home. For Community Cultures, I'm Kimberly Calderbank.